Podcast 248, Textual Analysis of St. John's Parish Church, Barbados. Copyright 2025. ISBN 9798902718758. Hello everyone. I am Dr. William Anderson Gittins DD from the beautiful island of Barbados. It is truly a pleasure to be here with you today as we embark on another enlightening journey through Barbados's historical landscape. In this episode, we will conduct a thorough textual analysis titled St. John's Parish Church, Barbados, copyright 2025, ISBN 97890271878. This exploration promises not only to uncover the architectural and historical significance of the church, but also to reveal how these figures serve as dynamic symbols rich in cultural and spiritual meaning. Historical context. St. John's Parish Church, located on the rugged cliffs of the northern coastline of Barbados, stands as a centennial of history. Established in the 17th century, it has witnessed the tides of change that have swept across the island from colonization to independence. Wikipedia.org. The church is not merely a structure of bricks and mortar, it is a repository of stories, lives, and legacies intertwined with the evolution of Barbadian society. As we embark on this journey, I can't help but express my excitement about St. John's Parish Church. The images and the descriptions we've encountered imply that it is absolutely stunning. So, let me propose a question to start our discussion. What's the very first thing that jumps out at you about this historical heritage cultural locale from a purely visual perspective as it relates to this text, which mentions so much? Initial impressions. I won't be surprised if many of you alluded to your excitement. Through my multifaceted lenses, St. John's Parish Church emerges as a profound visual subject. As a Barbadian, what immediately strikes me is the harmonious yet dynamic interplay between the historical colonial era architecture and the lush, vibrant Barbadian landscape. Gittins 2023. All things being equal, this structure is deeply embedded in its environment. To put it simply, it's a building that resonates with its surroundings, reflecting the history and culture of Barbados. Architectural features. The text highlights the Georgian and Gothic revival styles, along with locally sourced coral stones. Barbados Historical Society 2022. Architecturally, St. John's Parish Church exhibits features characteristic of colonial ecclesiastical design embellished by elements unique to the Caribbean context. These materials create a unique tone, tenor, and texture that have influenced contemporary projects, allowing the architectural details to truly stand out, like those distinctive circular windows we discuss. The use of local coral stone not only exemplifies resilience in the face of the Caribbean climate, but also enhances the church's historical significance. Williams 2021. The Gothic revival influences are evident, especially in the pointed arches and the striking large circular window in the bell tower, an emblem of the church's prominence within the parish and the community. Visual aesthetics. Speaking of striking features, Let's not overlook the red and yellow shutters. Like little bursts of color against the weathered stone, they add vibrancy to the scene. And when we consider how tree branches frame everything, the imagery becomes even more picturesque. In the grand scheme of things, it feels almost alive with history, doesn't it? I presume you would agree that it absolutely does. As a cinematographer and photojournalist, I particularly appreciate how macro lenses can highlight those red and yellow shutters in explicit detail as crucial focal points. Anderson 2020. This technique not only draws the eye but also emphasizes the church's heritage against the muted stone background. Compositional choices. It should be noted that employing natural framing through tree branches goes beyond mere aesthetics. It represents a deliberate compositional choice that contrasts the organic, vibrant life of nature with the enduring yet aged built environment. Smith 2022. This creates a rich textual and temporal narrative which I find fascinating. In Barbadian parlance, this isn't just a pretty church, it tells a story about time, Barbados, colonial history, and resilience. Metaphorically, the church and the trees seem to engage in a conversation about everything that has transpired within this space. Cultural and spiritual significance. Now that we have completed this textual analysis, may I humbly submit some key takeaways regarding its cultural or spiritual significance. Through my lens as a doctor of divinity and cultural theorist, I assert that the church transcends being merely a historical building. It stands as a living symbol. Gittins 2023. Culturally and spiritually, it represents a convergence of colonial heritage and Barbadian identity, a plinth of power as suggested in our cultural review, Gittins 2023. Its harmonious integration with nature underscores a spiritual connection to creation, positioning it as a sanctuary and an enduring beacon of faith and community resilience within Barbados's dynamic history. My closing thoughts. Thank you for joining me as we explore the intricate layers of St. John's Parish Church in Barbados. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights with you, and I encourage you to reflect on the narratives that such places hold within our collective memory. Additionally, ePublication 417 ISBN 9798902718758 captures and frames this discourse. Until next time, take care. God bless.